would really like your participation when you can. We'll be going over meetings, board meetings. We're planning a trip to do in 2016. I got a couple of giveaways here. So we're going to have a great night. So without further ado, I am going to introduce the board to everybody. I will go last, and I will start with the vice president. And the way we do this is we say who we are, what state we're from, how many years we've been with the Federation, and which convention this is. So Amy Barrett is the vice president of this division. So Amy,
Just 1 second, Chairman.
Okay.
Amy Barron from the lovely state of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I've been in the Federation for 20 years, and this is my 17th convention. And I am the president of the Native Hub in Minnesota.
And here's our lovely treasurer,
Acting treasurer.
I'm Joe Taylor, and I am from Utah, and I have been more or less involved in the Federation forever. My dad is part of it, has been part of the Federation since 1970, and the Utah Association for the Blind before that. And I'm married to Miss Taylor, and I'm secretary, and I don't know how many conventions I've been to.
and also where is Mr. John Flockhorst? He was our secretary. I just want to let you guys know there may be some different faces that you were here last year. Okay, our treasurer from last year, Glenda Farnham, had to step down due to illness. And Margot Downey is not here, and also she's having some illnesses, so we have 2 people that have replaced her, both of them doing great jobs, but because we're a very democratic division, we need to, as a division, to officially vote them in. And we also have 1 empty seat for board member. And I know 1 person is running, but if you're interested as a board member, you need to be a paid member of the division. And that's the only thing we ask that you are. Okay? So, without further ado, our secretary, interim secretary, Mr. John Flockhorst.
Hi, I'm John Tabackhorst. I'm also from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I've been in the Federation for 24 years, and this is my 23rd national convention. I was elected last year as a board member, and as Cheryl said, beginning in December, I started filling in on an interim basis for Margot Downey, and I've been willing to do whatever Cheryl has asked me to do to assist the division.
Thank you, John. And right now we have 2 board members. We're seeking a 3rd, and our first board member is sitting here at the table, Mr. Steve Costellas.
Hi, I'm Steve Costellas. I joined the National Federation of the Blind when we organized the 2nd Illinois affiliate in 1968. And have been in the organization, ever since then. And I've served in every capacity in the Chicago chapter board, now treasurer, and I have had a lifelong interest in traveling, especially if it involves steel wheels and steel rails. I worked for the Chicago Transit Authority 35 years, thanks in substantial part to professional contacts I made through my environmental affairs work at the National Federation of the Blind in the mid-1970s. And you'll hear from me later on, and I came here by train too, so.
And our last board member who is going around with the 50-50 raffles is Mr. Jamal Powell. I know you have a nice voice, Jamal, so just give us an introduction about yourself, please.
Jamal Powell, University Park, Illinois, member of NFB for 23 years. I joined November 9th, 1991, 14 p.m.
Anybody but cereal milk
organized blind movement. I figured I'll just get some information, get out of it. I like what I heard so much. I went to the treasurer. Or they try to go, hey, buddy, how much you cost to join? He goes, $2. He goes, I paid her. I go, yeah, I remember. And the rest of it, they say is history. So. And this was about, I was counting this on Friday, and this is National Convention number 17.
Wonderful.
And that is exact, too. You know.
Exactly,
He's
exactly. And I want to recognize two people. One of them is our former treasurer, Mr. Milton Taylor. Introduce yourself, Milton, please.
Milton Taylor, I joined the NFB in 1971, so it's been quite a while, and I'm Joe's husband from Utah, and I've been treasurer of this division since 2004 to 2013, and then I've been involved in doing some Lions Club stuff and currently in district governor.
They literally got in this morning from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Poor thing.
If I'm a little bit of a space cadet, just never.
That's why we help each other, Joe.
That's right. And we have a past president in the audience with us, Mr. Don Gilmore, and I always recognize our prior people because we wouldn't be here without them. So Mr. Don Gilmore.
I'm Don Gilmore. I'm from Chicago and Florida. I also winter in St. Pete Beach. I joined the Federation in 1975, and this is my 38th convention. Whoa!
Wow. And for those that don't know me, I'm Cheryl Echeverria. I have been president of the Travel and Tourism Division since 2011.
Yes.
I've been very proud to serve. I was re-elected last year. My term was up in 2016. All positions are a 2-year term. I am from the lovely state of New York, the Big Apple, yay. I'm the vice president of the Long Island chapter.
All right.
And I own NFB Travel.
Yeah. I'm recording.
So I live, breathe, and everything else travel. So I try to do as much as I can advocating for all of us, all ages, especially the blind, because all of us have a life we want to live and a right to travel any way we want to. I'm very proud to say, and I don't want to toot my own horn here, but Walt Disney World is here.
Yes.
And John Senior Center, and I will pat myself on the back for years of working with Disney. And if you're new to this division, we are not in partnership with Disney, but Disney has been very good to this division. They took the officers for a couple of years ago to a tour of the updated Disney property. We learned I call it a wayfinder, and no, it's not called a wayfinder, but the accessible updates at Walt Disney World. So, Mr. Mark Jones, who's the accessibility manager last year, because we had so many issues with Norwegian Cruise Line in the past, they were here last year. And this year, I wanted to focus on us. We don't need guests. We want to know about you. And I'm going to say my little spiel here. It's part of my presidential release kind of thing. Before we move on to business at hand. As we say, if you're new to this, we're all about any kind of travel. I'm sorry, Joe. From buses, trains, taxis.
Horse?
Okay. Cows.
Donkeys?
We're very exactly. So we're very fun travel. I just gonna add the forum so everybody can hear what's going on. Thank you. And Amy will be tapping every once in a while if it gets too loud. But with any division, we need members' participation. And over the last year or so, we have a lot of people's names on paper. But unfortunately, we do have a monthly meeting. If it has to do with the time or the date of the week, we're willing to work with everybody, because the more people we have coming to the conference calls, the more work we can get done. All right, usually it's just the board and 2 or 3 people. We really, if you can participate, it's like participating in your own local chapter. And we do it on the phone, and we may use NFB Live, and there's a lot of things going on this year that we'd like to try to get done, so as much participation as possible, we would really appreciate it. And if you don't have time, we understand that as well, but that's why we ask for your email, because if you're not at, let me step back a little bit. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. I don't have a LinkedIn account yet, but we will be having a LinkedIn account. We have a website which is very easy, nfbtravel.org. And I am the webmaster of it all. And if anybody would like any of it, you're more than welcome to help out. Okay? So it's very easy to do, but there's a lot of communication. People will know that I post a lot on the travel and tourism list. I don't do it to hear myself talk. I really love to send out information for all of you. I really love it. I love doing it. So, like I said, I'm very passionate about what I do, and I want to make sure you all get the right information. So, without further ado, that was my spiel, and we're going to move on to the Treasury report. So we're going to move right along here. So Joe has the Treasury report out, and John, if you can get the secretary report ready, and we'll move from there. Because we have a couple of people that would like, 5 or 6 minutes to speak, and somebody may come in from Nashville, come in. But Dr. Schroeder said he might come in, and some other people from the paralegal department where to come in and speak to us as well. So.
Okay, we can't, wait now, okay, just a second, probably just a little bit.
Well, we need
What are we doing with the ticket stubs?
Oh, no, we use a Ziploc bag too.
Okay.
I tore my tickets in half and I got my 5 in my hand.
Well, Jamel, hi.
We currently have,
A little louder, please.
the amount in our account right now without any of the new dues is $1,743.16.
Is that the savings and checking separate, or that's the total altogether?
I think that is the total, let me just look at that. I think that's, but I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on that.
For those that do not know, we also started a PAC plan last year. So
Yes, we are currently paying $10 on the PAC plan.
And every year we donate to all 4 of the,
I think it was 5.
the 5?
I think it was fine.
No, was 5 including tax,
Oh,
so it's for,
The
It's
White
the
Cane, the Jernigan Fund, the Sun, and the what?
And the Imagination Fund.
Yeah, there's only 4.
That I think is, I've heard the Imagination Fund is gone.
Oh,
And
well.
I can look at the checkbook.
Well, whatever we're going to be doing, we normally, and this is up, I'm going to ask this now for those that are paid members. We currently give $25 per each fund. Do I hear a yay for us to continue participating $25 into each fund from the travel and tourism
David
division?
Stair, I'll second the
Yes.
motion.
So moved.
Everybody, what's it?
Everybody, exercise.
I'm sorry, my brain. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
So are
sir.
we keeping our pack at $10?
We're keeping our pack is $10 till next year at least.
Okay.
Without further, oh yes, do I hear a motion to accept the Treasury report?
Second.
I heard Bob, and I heard Amy.
Yes.
Hello.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any questions? Thank you very much.
Yes.
Without further ado, Mr. John Walworth for Secretary report.
guy.
Okay.
Hold it 1 second.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's okay. NFB Travel and Tourism Division Annual Meeting, July 3rd, 2014, Orlando, Florida. The NFB Travel and Tourism Division held its annual meeting on Thursday, July 3rd, 2014, at the Rosen Center Hotel during the 74th Annual National Convention. The meeting was called to order by President Cheryl Echeverria at approximately 1 p.m. We had a few minutes of silence to remember those who were no longer with us, as well as those who could not attend due to illness. We then said the Pledge of Allegiance and the NFB pledge. President Echeverria welcomed everybody to the meeting and gave opening remarks and background on the division. All of the officers and board members introduced themselves. We then held elections for all 7 positions. The following were elected to 2-year terms: President Cheryl Echeverria, New York; Vice President Amy Barron, Minnesota; Secretary Margot Downey, New York; Treasurer Glenda Farnham, Oklahoma; and board members Jamal Powell, Illinois; Steve Hastelis, Illinois; and John Tabakford, Minnesota. The elections report were sent to the Braille Monitor. We then had reports from both our secretary and treasurer. We talked about our first fundraising trip to Utah in 2013, which raised $1,400 for the division. We then voted to increase our contributions to the Sun, Jernigan, White Cane, and Imagination Fund. We also voted to start a PAC plan giving $10 per month. President Echeverria also said that we do have monthly conference calls and she encouraged members to be part of this. These meetings are posted on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Guest speakers. Our first guest speaker was Mark Riccobono, who was still Executive Director of the Jernigan Institute, and at our meeting had not yet been elected President of NFB. He spoke of independence and also about working and fighting for independent travel, including accessible websites for the airlines.
Yes.
He mentioned that Southwest is still not accessible, but the Federation is working with them to make this possible. Our next guest speaker was Patrick Keys, Admissions Coordinator, National Stadler Center for Careers in Hospitality Services, Buffalo, New York. He spoke about the educational services and the placement services that Stadler offers. They have an 85% placement rate after graduation and have placed some in reservation call centers and other areas with such companies as Sheraton, Marriott, Disney, and many of the cruise lines. Other Stadler graduates have gone on to become travel agents either on their own or with a guest agency. Our next 2 speakers were to get a joint presentation since they work together for the same company. These were Andrew Garrett, Vice President, CEO, Special Needs Group, and Kathy Vasquez, Access Officer Manager, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Miami, Florida. Special Needs Group is the company that does provide the relief boxes for guest dogs, guide dogs, service dogs on most of the major cruise lines. They also do braille menus for Norwegian and braille signage when ships come in for service. Other services they provide, which would be do through a travel agent, and they would have that in your cabin, include wheelchairs and over 1,000 other products. Mrs. Vasquez said that she has worked very closely with President Echeverria, and with feedback from our division members, Norwegian has improved services. Norwegian is the only cruise line that has an access officer on every ship. This is the person you would speak to when you first come on board. They will assist you in maybe navigating the ship, assist in lifeboat drills, etc. They do provide these. You could go with other cruise lines, but they let us know that they do provide those services. Our guest then took questions from
Town of New York to see the town of Cooperstown and see the Hall of Fame of baseball. And then the last day is we come back to New York City and we do a little bit more whatever is open at the time. Like maybe we don't, it's all options on the last day because we don't know what's going to be open or not. But maybe a tour of one of the ballparks, the Yankees or the Mets, or a play in New York City, or see more stuff like Holy Island, and then have a nice, we'll have a nice dinner at the last time to say goodbye to everyone. So on that one, did I include everything, guys?
You know what, I'm just gonna go over it a little bit if you don't mind.
No.
All right, just to give an idea, I know people get nervous when you talk, and Amy's doing a really good job. So, basically we come into Brooklyn the first day, and this trip does not include your transportation to whichever place we're going to. But where we are going to is coming into Brooklyn, and we have dinner on your own in Brooklyn, and then we go, as Amy said, we have breakfast every morning. Okay, we have a tour of New York City, which includes Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. From there, we head up to Hyde Park, which we also do the Culinary Institute of America with dinner. Okay, and then the following day we do Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt's home in Hyde Park, and then we do the Vanderbilt Museum. And then the following day we go to Cooperstown. And there's also wineries up in Cooperstown as well, but we will be doing the Baseball Hall of Fame. And then on the way back, we plan on either doing like a Cracker Barrel or something, since there's a long drive between Cooperstown and New York City, we will be having to stop for lunch. And then, as Amy was saying, because we're a year out, this is for 2016, the prices are estimated. We will announce the prices after we go through each one of them. Except for what's available, because we're looking at September, that is after the kids are back in school, and New York is the great time to go upstate with the foliage and the different foods during the fall and everything, and the wines, and it's going to be really great. It depends on baseball season, which stadium we do a tour of. If we don't do a tour of the stadium, we may go to either a Cyclones game, which is the minor league for Mets, and go over to Jersey to do the Yankees minor league, or we might even do a Broadway show. But all those things were formulated into the pricing by the travel agent we're using, which is an associate that I know from Pennsylvania. Her name is Mary, and the travel agency is called Life is Better Traveling. She's out of Pennsylvania. She's been working really hard with us to try to get us the most reasonable rates we can get, including the fundraiser money that's already included in the price of these trips. So that is one of the trips. Do you want to take over the second?
Yes,
Go ahead.
TFT, New York trip, alt-tab, NFB, alt-tab, TFT, Savannah trip, left bracket,
okay.
TFT, Savannah.
So the second trip is the trip to Savannah, Georgia, okay? Okay. So the first day is the day you come in, and we'll pick you up from the airport and get settled. We're gonna stay with the New York one. You're at different hotels each night. When you're in Savannah, it's all one hotel. It's going to be the Marriott, and it's downtown. It's in the historical district.
Those are coming in to keep quiet, please. Thank you.
And so second day is going to be like a trolley tour through the city of Savannah. And then the third day, the second day is to be a lunch. Every morning, the breakfast is breakfast included, and some days are lunch included, or not lunch but dinner. And there's a lot of free time. And the third day is an option tour in the evening to see what Paula Dean has done to the city of Savannah, and eat at her Lady and Son's place. Then the next day will be going to the island.
Oh, Jekyll Island.
Jekyll Island, and get a tour of that and see what the historic area around that. And then in the afternoon, we'll have a tour of the
Sea Turtles.
Sea Turtles Museum and explain what they do. And then
we have dinner on our own.
Then we have dinner on our own. And then there's one day where we have a walking tour that we can sit. Lunch will be sampling all the cuisines of the South in Savannah. And then the last day, the last dinner we'll have will be a dinner, music and dinner cruise of the South on the river of the Savannah River. Anything more?
No, thank you, Madam Chair. I know, even myself, when I'm speaking to a crowd, it's very nerve-wracking, but I think Amy did a good job.
Thank you, Amy.
I'm going to let you know what's included on these tours, and if you have any questions, I'll take them.
Alt-F5.
Okay, first of all, do we have any questions on these tours at all right now? Do you want more definition of them or anything?
Even so Savannah does not include Charleston, right?
No.
Just, okay. And so you're going to give the prices?
They're about,
Yes, I got them right here. I just want to let you know what's included and what's not included. Okay, I'm doing and these will really run down to a couple of $100. There's not difference in amounts. The Savannah trip, we're looking at September, I'm going to give it right now. Page here. September 18th to the 23rd, 2016. Okay. What's included is your meals unless otherwise stated. So if you're having breakfast and dinner and lunch is not included, lunch is on your own. Transfers to and from Savannah Airport, admissions to all museums, tours, shows, shops, unless stated in the tour. Tour guides at museums, tours, shows, and shops. Your tour guide for your trip, motor coach, and tip for driver, and your fundraising amount. Okay, what is not included, meals that are not stated, optional tours if you want to do other things and they're not included, by all means you can do that. We can arrange it for you ahead of time, but those optional tours will, that'll fall into your pocketbook, not into the price of our tour. Your airfare to and from Savannah, Georgia, travel insurance, gratuities and tips at restaurants, and any shopping you have going on your own. Now the price is It's actually marked up about 15%. It can go down once we know the exact prices and exactly what we're doing, because the person we're working with will adjust pricing should the pricing go down, or if it's right about where it is. Since we're talking about 2016, price per person, double occupancy, and we're basing this on 25 people. If we get more people, the price also may go down, because then the price of the bus goes down. So for double occupancy per person is $1,128. Remember, you're getting a lot included on this, and you're getting food, you're getting entertainment and stuff, and this also includes a fundraiser amount towards our organization. Price per person based on double occupancy should fall for 20. Okay, this was 25 or more. This is for 20 or more, which is $1,173. And if you're doing a single occupancy, you have to add on $485 on top of it, because you're traveling as a single occupancy. Okay, that's the first trip. For the New York City trip, and I'm going to get that right now. And again, we will have payment plans. We will have times when money is due. We will have payment plans, and that will go through our wonderful secretary, Ms. Joanna Taylor, once we decide on everything.
Treasurer.
Treasurer, sorry, I guess I'm nervous. Nervous. Sorry. I call Nelson sometimes Max Nelson, Sorry, I love you, Anyway, on the New York City trip, it includes meals unless otherwise stated, admission to Baseball Hall of Fame, FDR's home, Valkill and Vanderbilt Mansion, Culinary Institute or CIA, no, not the CIA. Culinary Institute of America, public tour including the dinner, Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island including ferry, voucher to Choice American Museum of Natural History, Museum of New York City, a New York water taxi to the Statue of Liberty. Those are your options. Another option is, and included, the voucher to admission to a choice of the Empire State Building, Observatory, Metropolitan Museum of Art, or Top of the Rock Observatory. So you get a choice of all, one of each of those two vouchers I was talking about. Shopping discounts at Macy's, Bloomingdale's, and South Street Seaport. Hotel baggage handling fees, motor coach and driver's tips, and hotel. Round-trip transfers to and from airport, and also the National Federation of the Blind fundraiser fee. Does not include meals that are not included, tours of Yankee Stadium or other tours, Broadway show, if we decide to do them, they're not in these prices, but if we want, the museums and everything are becoming more and more accessible out there. I don't know, I can't speak for other states, but I know New York City and New York State is becoming more and more accessible with the museums and the exhibits and all that. So that's become a very proud thing of being in New York, and that we're doing these things, and I hope other states are doing them. But yes, we can look into almost anything about that. Steve? Okay, I'd like to move on to the next topic at hand. Since the business is done, we have Steve Hastelis and Jamel Powell that will be talking about transportation out in the state of Illinois. They both joined and done presentations before. So I'd like them to talk on this, please. Jamel and Steve, you can make your way to the front.
Yes. Excuse me. Hold it. We're trying to, okay.
Oh, the 50/50.
Oh.
Okay.
Did you go down? No.
Okay.
Do you have the Ziploc bag?
I have a Ziploc bag.
Okay.
Okay, before they start, I have a bag here, and these were donated by Blind Vision United. Okay, and they're also from Jungle Phone Chat. I don't know if anybody's been to other meetings yet. I've been doing this for a long time. Telephone calling chat service, like for the people or something. And I want to remind people that NFB has NFB Live that's done through your Skype, and we do have a travel and tourism list, but in each of these bags, we have a $25 gift certificate to Walmart. Now, the first question I have is, if you've been paying attention, where did Milton and Joe Taylor fly in from?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Hold on, board members, hold on. I have to hear. It's going to be hard. I have to look for the first page.
I think the lady.
I said it first, they didn't say it.
Renee, Cheryl. She was.
Okay, hold on. Let me do that again. You got to be quiet, or else I'm not. Okay. No, don't raise it. Because I can't see that. Okay.
Okay, Nelson will do it.
Okay.
Okay, Nelson?
Okay.
Get over here, Nelson.
Okay. Nelson's decided one in the room.
Yes, ma'am.
The first person to raise their hand of what location did Milton and Joe Taylor just come from? Tom's Golf Course.
That's not fair.
Oh my God.
That's not,
I did it.
that's, it's fixed.
Renee, Palace.
That's not fair because I said it first before.
All right. Yes. Tim, what's it up? You can do it now while we're doing this.
coming back.
From the NFB? Tim, yes.
Si quiere me quedo acá.
No.
Before we continue, Mr. Tim Elder from outside council with the National Federation of the Blind has asked to speak for 2 minutes. He's doing this at all the meetings, so I sent you, when he came back from one of the meetings, that he can speak, so I'm giving him the floor. So go ahead, without further ado, Tim Elder.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Elder. I am an attorney. I do some work with NFB. Most recently, I'm the lead attorney on the case against Uber on behalf of passengers with service animals. So if any of you are experiencing denials by drivers on the basis of a service animal, either at Uber, Lyft, or any of these ride-sharing companies, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd like to hear about it. But I'm actually here to find out if anyone is using Airbnb. We are currently conducting an investigation into this service, particularly around the accessibility of the Airbnb mobile app and the Airbnb website for travelers who are using screen readers, so jobs, voiceover, or whatever. If you've had any problems using the website or the app to book overnight stays at any of the Airbnb properties, we would very much like to hear from you. We're particularly interested in hearing urgently from anyone who is from Massachusetts or New York and is traveling within or to either of those states, so Massachusetts and New York as your destination or your place of residence. If that is you, I'd very much like to hear what your thoughts are on the accessibility of the app. I will leave some of my business cards here at the head table with Cheryl. If you can also find me online at www.trelegal.com. That's TRE as in Tango, Romeo, Echo, or Timothy Ryan Elder, however you want to arrange it. But so TRElegal.com, you can find me, you can find information about Uber. You can reach me on Airbnb. Thank you so much.
Can we also reach you through the NFB office, like Valerie Yearling or something?
Yes, you could always call the NFB office and talk to Valerie Yingling or Megan Sadu and say, I heard
that attorney talking about Airbnb, Tim Elder, they can connect you with me as well. So feel free if this is something that you've encountered. You know, Airbnb is a very popular service now. It's growing exponentially. In some ways, it's kind of controversial. It's competing with the hotels, but it is a very interesting way to travel and to stay in a nice property, kind of all over the world now, really. So I'll be around. Happy to hear from you. Have a great meeting. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Okay, we have the final Walmart thing here. If you won before, you're out, okay? So I have, this may be an easy question for some, and it may be a hard question for others. So the first person to raise their hand to get this, Nelson's in the corner here, Dr. Tebbrick's wife's name.
Jamal.
Jamal?
Dr. Tim Brooks' wife's name is Mabel.
No.
David.
It's Hazel.
David won. There you go.
Wow.
There you go. Thank you.
Sorry, Jamal.
The next break, we're going to
There you go, sir, David. David.
You guys ready?
You're welcome.
Talk about it. Talk on this and open shot.
You guys ready? Okay, Steve and Jamal now have the floor for how long do you think?
There is $47.
No more than 10 minutes, I would guess.
For 10 minutes, please give your attention to Steve
Leo.
Stallion and Jamal Powell.
Keep
And
going.
we're up to $47.
Make it right.
$47 and the 50.
Make it. That's.
How do you get 50/50 tickets? That's coming later.
They're already done, Steve.
Oh, you can't get any more?
You missed it, unfortunately, man.
Oh.
Actually, it's $48.
Okay, do you get more money if I?
No, my husband's putting in an extra dollar, so it's easier to separate.
Make it 50?
$24. 5 people is $13.50, and approximate pricing for single occupancy, this is not north, this is total price, is $18.60. That already has some markup on it. So, do we have any questions on these trips before we take a vote for the membership of which one they would prefer to do? Jamal Powell was recognized.
Yes. I
Can
was.
people be, excuse me, can some people, we can't hear anybody if we're going to ask questions.
Yes, that's, please, okay, Jamal, go ahead.
Okay, I'm hearing the question, I'm hearing the trips and the prices, but you are saying about including airfare, is that correct?
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay, so it's not including airfare.
that's correct. Or
No.
any other transportation to the main meetup site.
Right, so alternative transportation methods can be used.
Yeah.
Correct. If you want to take a train to
Yeah,
Penn
you can walk
Station.
them all.
Yeah, Jamal, yeah. Bus, train, airfare, whatever way you want to get to the starting part.
Ms. Ellis, but
Well,
if
let me answer the question, then I'll take the vote. So, yes, that is correct, that's not included.
Right, I was looking for clarification, thank you.
Thank you. Steve Estellas?
the Savannah trip, you said that the transportation to from the airport is included.
Yes,
Can we make that flexible for people who might want to come on either Greyhound or Amtrak?
we will discuss it with Mary, but I don't think there should be a problem. But we want to make sure there's no hidden fees. So that's why we want to make sure, even after today, that the people that want to be involved in this, please keep in touch with us, because this is your trip.
Also,
Yes.
another attraction that people may not be aware of outside the transit industry, they restored an old streetcar which runs on a waterfront freight railway in Savannah. It's a street running, it's a kind of a tourist attraction. It's a real trolley, I mean, it's a real streetcar, it runs, it's not a bus that look like an old streetcar, it is an actual streetcar.
I think that was one of the tours we're doing,
Yes.
the trolley tour.
The trolley tours.
Yeah,
That's included in the Savannah trip.
okay, if it's the actual,
I will get more clarification on that.
okay.
Nelson?
Who? Nelson?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So the state of mind is that confused enough. Explain them why you're not the travel agent.
The reason why I'm not the travel agent, I did this 2 years ago. I got my hands slapped by National because I am the president of the division and I own the travel agency. It's a conflict of interest, so we had to look outside our division to do this. And I did ask a couple of travel agents that I know that are federationists. Unfortunately, well, I'm not going to say unfortunately because this is a difficult business, okay? And not saying that I'm better than anybody else, but we weren't getting the pricing and the type of trip we wanted. Everything was a very structured tour, and we did work with a couple of people, and we said, and I did ask Ms. Anahid Labar, who is a member. Okay, she said that she's not actively working as a travel agent, and she's doing other things, so she was asked to do it, and she said that she appreciated us asking her, but she has other things that she's doing now. So that's what I did ask her. So I know some people are out there thinking. I did ask her. She was the first person I asked.
Thank you.
So that's the only reason I'm not doing it, because it would be a conflict of interest. But that's why I reached out to my network of people. Travel agents work with each other. We know each other, and I reached out and I asked who would be willing, and she's been on the phone with us and emailing us every single question we have, and very polite. And I know a lot of us can't see totally or partially or whatever. She gave Amy the information on document and the windows, and we actually have 2 beautiful packets made up. And you know, if these like I said, these will be on payment plans. This will be done in September of 2016. So it may sound like a lot of money, but if you really want to come and enjoy and have a great time, these are the 2 trips that we listened to you, and this is what we came up with. So if any, let me hear for those of you who are interested in New York trips, say
Can I
yes.
say something first, Cheryl?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to go to New York. I can't be, I started looking and stuff. If we didn't have this, it'd be like between $2,000 or $3,000.
How many nights is a New York trip?
What's that?
3 nights. How many nights?
Cheryl?
Yes, Susan, who's reaching for the floor?
Renee Kaplis, how are you?
Yes. Hi, Renee.
I just want to give, if it's okay with you, and I don't know if this is the timing or if you planned this, I kind of want to give a little testimony on our last trip.
Please do. Stand up a minute, please, if you want. If not, you can sit there, that's fine.
Okay, big boss over here. We had an amazing time. The plan, when we went to southern Utah, the plans were well executed. The travel agent that we dealt with, the people that helped on the bus tours, they knew what they were talking about. They were fantastic. They were well trained with our needs. Everything was well thought out. And it was just amazing, and I'd like to say that if any of these trips are planned in the same way that that one was, it's an amazing time. The other thing is to be able to put down payments down every month is something most of us don't have the opportunity to do in other places. If you put a couple hundred or 100 down, that really makes a difference. It did for David and I. And so I want to congratulate you and thank you. And I know Taylor did a lot on that too, and some other people. We had an amazing time via Vegas. We went to Vegas also. So I just want to say it's well worth the money, time, effort, and whatever else.
And we did raise close to $1,500 for that trip. So
Thank
the
you.
money we still have in our account, that's still money coming from that. Thank you. Was anybody else on that trip that'd like to say something or no?
You did?
You said it all.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions on these 2 trips that would you like more clarification on before you make a decision on which one you want to vote on?
They both sound good.
Is the second one?
Okay. Can I hear from our members who are paid members, officially paid members? Our
Madam
trip,
President,
yes, Bob.
I would like to make a motion to support the New York trip.
All, we don't need a motion,
We need a vote.
we're just voting on which trip we're doing.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Who's asking for the floor? Can I have your name, please?
Steve Caldwell.
Yes, sir.
Was there, in the New York trip, is there still like an open day? Like, at the end of it or something?
Yes, basically the end of the last day, we have optional tours, but we also, that evening, we having a trip at a barbecue restaurant. That's like the end of the day, that's our farewell dinner. There are going to be optional tours, whether either it's going to be a ballpark or a Broadway show. If none of those things that you want to do, you still have the vouchers for maybe the top of the ride. If you want to do your own thing, that's why we're leaving certain areas open where you could do, when we say optional tours, that is where you just want to walk through Central Park and enjoy the afternoon or something.
So such as Ground Zero visit?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything going on for that?
Well, the observatory was open last month, sir. So, but if you wanted tickets for that, we could get you tickets to go there and visit. And the tower is now open. The observatory opened last month. So Nelson and I have not been up there yet, but we've been to the Empire State Building and other locations around the city since we're about an hour away from New York City. But if that's something you want to do that day, that would be an optional tour for you to do during your free time on the last day. Or if you wanted to stay an extra couple of days as well, we could add that on for you personally. Did I answer your question, sir? Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Amy?
I would like to say something about Mary. Mary has been very flexible with us and gave us ideas back and forth. So she can work with us if someone wants to do something on the last day, you know. So we built in flexibility too, because we know we're not going to see everything in New York. It's $2 to see everything in New York City, but we open it to the stuff we thought people will enjoy, like the Statue of Liberty and stuff. You know, and then when we come back on the last day, we can do the player stuff, or you want to go to Coney Island, we can take you to Coney Island, you know, so we see more stuff in the city.
Another question, excuse me.
Who's taking when you ask for the floor, please say your name, sorry.
Atlas again.
All right, Renee.
Another question. I'm wondering if, let's say somebody did want to spend a couple more nights, is there a hotel you could get, if they know ahead of time that we could get reservations?
Yes, Mary will be our travel agent no matter what we're doing. If you want to stay extra nights at either the hotel in Brooklyn, we're not looking in New York City because that would bring up our trip a whole lot more, maybe $200 or $300 more. So we're looking, that's why we're looking at the hotel in Brooklyn. It's not too far from the city, and it's also near the turnpikes and expressways, so we could get out of, it's my thing saying now, we get out of Dodge, without all the different traffic and everything. So Brooklyn is a lot easier to get out of city instead of going through Manhattan. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I live there. Nelson drives there. I used to drive there. It's a lot easier for the buses to go through.
Nelson?
Steve on the floor, then Nelson. Go ahead.
If you want to use public transit to and from that hotel in Brooklyn, Prospect Park has ample subway service.
Yes, they do. Plenty of subways around
There's
Long
several
Island
routes.
Railroad. If somebody wanted to come in and come out to me in Nelson, the Long Island Railroad is near there.
Yeah, Atlantic Avenue, right? Or is it East New York? No, Atlantic Avenue is closer, right?
Right, so there are many options there for you to do in any of the locations, whether it's New York or Savannah. Okay, so we put as much interest in as possible, like Amy was saying. You know, we didn't make a 7-day trip because that was just getting way too expensive. We wanted to keep it at least a minimum of 5 days, including, you know, we have to figure in transportation. First day, everybody's arriving. You know, you don't want, we're trying to be respectful of you. If you have ideas that you want to add, or, you know, we're all open, but we need the idea of where we want to go. These two trips where these two locations were brought up because the members brought them up. So if people have ideas, I mean, we're going to Hyde Park, we're going to Cooperstown, we're going to New York City. If there's certain places in New York City that on the last day that we can get and go, we just can't guarantee the Broadway show. Mamma Mia is going to be on. That's 2 years away. I mean, shows open and close all the time. But if you want to see a show at that time, 4 months out, we'll say, hey, this is a show that we figured, we said optional tour, these are the prices for it. But it's an optional tour and you would have to pay that. If you want to go and see a museum, if you want to go to a Radio City Music Hall, those are the optional tours and we will give you the prices on it. Nelson. Everybody here, please don't raise your hand. You know we're blind. Please say your name, seeking the floor. Okay. No, I saw one. I saw him out of the corner of my eye here.
Sorry, Madam President.
Go ahead, Juan Carlos.
Yeah, just to inform you, the Florida chapter, at least the Jacksonville chapter of the Florida division, is planning on doing a cruise trip and stuff like that. My question is, even though that this is the 75th annual, anniversary of the NFB, and I understand that it is a conflict of interest, you being, president of not only your chapter, but also, a travel agency, and you own your own travel agency. What was the possibility that you guys could have suggested maybe doing a special trip or something because it is the 75th annual? Or
This is a special trip because we don't do a fundraiser trip every year.
okay.
This is not a state. This is a division trip. We have discussed this. We've tried to do trips in the past. The one that flew the last time was the Las Vegas trip. I mean, we are travel tourism. We like to do one a year. But unfortunately, a lot of us are on disability, we're on fixed incomes, and we can't afford to do it every year. So whichever trip we're going to pick now, we may do the other one in another 2 years, or we may do some, have the other trip plus something else to pick. I mean, it is our 75th anniversary. We tried to do Nashville last year. There wasn't enough interest. So, as stated, this is what the members voted on. I put it out there to the talk list through our conference calls, through Facebook, and and then we had so many locations that people wanted to do. Even doing a trip to Puerto Rico and then a cruise to the Bahamas. I mean, it was a nice idea, but we had to think about price. We had to think about availability. We had to, everything came down to, doability. We can't just do a cruise because not everybody likes to cruise. Some people are seasick, some people, we want to keep it within the United States as well. And, some people don't want to get a passport.
Madam President, Don Gilmore,
Yes, sir.
can we call for the vote?
Yes.
Yes, we will. So I'm
We're
going to
rambling.
seek questions
There's a lot of
because we are running late. So do I hear those that are Denise?
had a question.
Yeah, just one question. I know you said the first night in New York we're staying in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Even if you don't know the hotel, where are the other locations? Do you know that's where we stay? You said we stay in different places?
Yes, we do. We have the name of the hotels in.
It's gonna be a Holiday Inn in Cooperstown, and that's 2 nights, is that?
I'm getting there.
Yeah, I think one or two.
Okay, we're staying at Best Western Prospect Park, Brooklyn. We're staying at the Holiday Inn in Poughkeepsie on day 2. On day 3, we're staying the night at the Holiday Inn Oneonta. On day 4,
That's Cooperstown, that's New York, that's Holiday Inn.
day 4,
That's the Holiday Inn.
it is? Okay, thank you. And then day 5, we're back at the Best Western Prospect in Brooklyn.
And another thing with the Prospect in Brooklyn, they did give us a wonderful price thing for the 2 nights and breakfast for both days too, so.
So we, like I said, we have breakfast at all the hotels we're staying at. In Savannah, we're staying at the one, we are getting breakfast. And at the other hotels in New York State, we're getting breakfast as well. Okay, let me, okay. What?
Someone said call the question.
You'd like to do it? You're the chair.
No, yeah, let's call.
What?
How about we call the question and we'll vote on, first one we'll vote on the New York trip.
See now?
This is where you
Those who want the New York trip,
please raise your hand and Nelson will vote. Just keep your hand up. Those of you who are paid members, please raise your hand.
Wait, I have to count too.
New York.
New York.
Watch out for the camera.
The camera. I got the camera.
Somebody counting?
You are.
You
I
are.
was, but all right, so,
So,
New York trip, yeah.
1, 2,
do you want help, Joe?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
13 people.
14, 15.
15 people for New York trip. How many people for Savannah?
Oh, boy. Not many, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, New York has it.
You deserve an applause.
Yay! So, I'm going to give you some information. If you want to discuss more of this trip, and you have more ideas, remember, more things we do, the more money it's going to be. But our first meeting, teleconference call, will be in September. Please make sure you read your emails from me, so we will have Mary, our travel agent, on the call to finalize anything or to add or subtract anything.